Hey guys, welcome back to the Shlog. It's Morgan. We're at Highland Cycles. It is time for the weekly Shlog. I am back from Idaho. Leia, come. Leia's trying to eat people. There she is. Sheets is over here in the midst of a ton of crap. He's working on the sweetest custom seat TTR 125 I've ever seen. Having fun with that. Then we got an 85 that needs lots of things, and then we got a 350 that needs lots of things, and then a 300 which is almost back together and needs a new O-ring for the counter shaft. But it's going to be an awesome week, guys. Like I said, I just got back from Idaho. I don't know if that video is up yet or not. I don't know what's going on because I'm filming this on Tuesday and I got lots of editing to do. But anyway, this is our little shop vlog here in Western Colorado, where we show you lots of cool motorcycle things, tech tips, things not to do, blown up stuff, all that good stuff. So if that sounds awesome, stick with us. Here we go. Alright guys, first job for me this week is a set of Triumph forks from an 800 Tiger, so that's going to be interesting. We'll dive into those here in a second. But I wanted to let you guys know, I just got off the phone with a manufacturer. I can't say who, and I can't say what they manufacture, but they reached out to me because they want me to test a brand spanking new product, and I'm really, really excited about it. I can't talk about it yet. I will be filming everything, but it won't be released because, like I said, they're keeping it under wraps. It's really, really close to coming out to the public though. So honestly, no joke, this is not just like clickbait or whatever. It's gonna be awesome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you wanna see what's coming down the pipe. I think I'm one of the very first people to get one. They have their own private test rider that does a bunch of stuff, and he's been working on them for quite a while. I think I'm one of the first, like, outside of the company people, so I'm really excited about that. Really, really, really amped. Also, I want to show you boxes of things that are cool. By the way, Sheets is get mad at each other. Do something. Yes, there it is. So, these boxes right here are full of something really, really cool from one John Kramer. John, thank you so much. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I will open them during this video and set it all up. It's super, super cool. It's going to be a lot of fun here at the shop. Some skill building stuff there. So John built us something. It's going to be really cool. So anyway, let's get to these Triumph forks after Zach finishes his Thai chili mango salad. Come on, really? Actually, that sounds pretty good. I'm sure it's good. Shut up! We just got done with this 200. Well, done. We'll see. I think he's done with it. One Trevor Laborde, one of our very good friends and customers, just put a top end in it. That actually was from a few Shlogs ago when I showed you the air filter that was not even close to installed all the way into the KTM. We finally got the cylinder back. For that and everything together. Zach's doing that. So, all right, I'm gonna put you guys down right up here and start working on these forks. All right, guys, like I said, we are dealing with a set of forks off of a Triumph Tiger 800 XCR or XCT, XRT, anyway, whatever. It is a 2016, if anyone cares. I think they're kind of all the same for a lot of years. Like most fork seal videos, I'm gonna just show you one because they're both the same on either side. So, got our fork here. Everything's off. Customer brought these in off the bike. So we're going to chalk them up in these soft draws. And actually, before I do that, one of you guys said I should do a tool spotlight on the soft jaws. So let's take a look at them. Alright, so these are the Racetech soft jaws. There's the part number TMVJ065. They're really nice. You bolt them to the vise, and so they don't move around and whatever. They also have these little pins that pop up like that. That is for some of their other tools. like these. Those pins go into these holes right here. Anyway, they're nice. One second. There's the puppers. Hi, puppers. There. High five. Good girl. Hey, come here. Good girl. All right. Anyway, hey, Leia, come here. Get up there. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. There we go. Now we got her watching the shop. Manning the brake clean. So anyway, these soft jaws are nice. They're aluminum. They work good. What do you need, Leandra?
Grips for a pit bike.
Ooh. It depends on the pit bike, but normally just those normal grips.
Not like the lock-ons.
I would go the far right, yeah. Those would be good. But yeah, they're really cool. They're aluminum. They make other soft jaws like brass and things like that. Those are really cool too. These are pretty inexpensive, and they work really good. So anyway, we're gonna chalk that up in the soft jaws. And another thing, when you're chalking up stuff in like forks and a soft jaw, you can't, if you chalk it up here and pinch here, you'll have a really hard time getting that cap loose because you're squeezing it. So I always get it down here in the other flat part, then you can break that loose. 32 millimeter. Tilt it up, drain it. All right, that is drained. Now we have to, let me show you. Leia, get out there. Get out there. All right, so we got to pull this spacer, basically, this is a big spacer, down so we can get to the nut that is on, that's butted up against this cap to get all that stuff off. So these are kind of a pain. So guys, I'm using just a normal spring puller. I think that's a 17, but we're going to try it. If not, we'll grab another wrench. There we go. Our 32 again. So now, I'll show you what we're dealing with. Let's take a look. It's like a cupped washer. It's off kilter right now because I just had it down, but we need to pull that down and pull that washer out so that this spring can release. Do that right here. No. Just release nice and slow. And just pull her all apart. Pay attention to see the way this came out. It's going to go these ribs down, and that sits down inside there, and then that's basically just a bushing to keep it from the spring from chewing up the end of this. All right, I like to lay things out as like the way they came out, so it just makes sense as they go back together. Now I got an Allen in here. It's like a 6. Get our fancy impact so we can get this loose quick. There we go. And right there is why I have an air gun, because it usually makes short work of things like that. You can take this apart just like any other fork. And like all the forks, there's just a circlip down in there. I'm going to just slide hammer it apart. Once we get, there we go. like all the other forks, take the bushings off, set them down in order down here in the tray, washer, then do the seals. Even though we're not obviously reusing these seals, now we know which way they go. They're all laid out right here. Now we'll take tubes over and clean them up. All right, guys, got a new seal. We are actually using the old dust seals because the customer is the one that found the parts. He got genuine OEM Triumph parts and he could not get dust seals, but these are in fine shape. But new oil seals. So we're gonna go back together the way they came apart. By the way, I had a guy call me not long ago, who watches our YouTube channel, so he's probably watching this. He called me, asked me about carburetor stuff, how a certain piece went, and I made the glib remark to put it back in the way it came out. It was more of a joke than anything because I knew that it had sprung across the shop from him and he didn't know which way it went, so I was giving him a hard time, really. But honestly, guys, girls, people of all ages, that is the best, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. Is just try really, really hard to notice and see the way things came apart so you can put them back together, especially if it's an OEM thing that's never been apart. Now, sometimes an old bike, if someone else has worked on it, that could be wrong, but anyway. All right, so dust seal first, snap ring, new oil seal, washer. I take the bullet off for that. Washer, outer bushing, inner bushing. Doink. Then we go together in the tubes. Appropriately sized fork seal driver, and I drive the washer and the outer bushing in first. Then our oil seal. Circlip next. I say it every time, but make sure you're careful as you're pushing that clip in if you're using a screwdriver so you don't ding up the seal that you just put in. Then with this, I just boom like that and we're good to go. Now, I'm going to put the damper rod back in, and here's one of those things. This thing fell out afterwards. It's like a little bushing for the bottom of the damper rod. It goes on like that. So you put that on first. Then we're going to slide in. Then I like to take the Allen, as is the socket one that I've used to take it off, and put the screw on there because it's kind of a long way from this end up into there. So you can take that on there, come up in, and then just always start by hand. If you cross thread this thing, folks, I'm telling you, the amount of effort that goes into fixing that is way bigger than you want. So that is started, and you can check it by trying to lift up on the inner cartridge. It doesn't want to come out, so feel good about that. Now I'm just going to use my electric to go back together because the air one is so powerful it can strip those threads out, but this guy won't. There we go. Now we're going to put fork oil in it. This thing takes, I think it calls for like 8 or 10 weight, but this gentleman wants it to be a little bit softer, and I did a bunch of studying up on the forums, and it looks like 5 weight is actually a really good option for these bikes because they come really stiff from the factory. It's a level amount. They don't give you a capacity, so I know I need to be 107 millimeters from the top down for an air gap. So what we're going to do is pour a bunch in, pump this rod up and down and bleed it all through, and then measure it with it all compressed. Alright, now this part is slow, but I'm just going to pump the rod up and down until all the air bubbles come out. Get our handy dandy level gauge. This is Motion Pro 1. We're going to set it at 107. Put that in there and pull the trigger. So, spring. There we go. We got that bushing. That's the fun part. So we got this little cupped washer half thing. Anyway, so we got to get that on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here, take our spring puller in one of those holes. We're gonna pull down. We can kind of hook it. I'll show you what I got going on. So, kind of hook it right there. We get ready, and we're gonna go fast. There we go. Now we take our rod holder off, take our cap and start it. And we're still going to have to pull back down on this and get a wrench on it, but right now we can get this down. There we go, it stops. Now we got to bring that nut up. So now what we do, we take our spring puller again. Just gonna tighten it down. Don't have to go crazy. We're gonna tighten down, pull the wrench out, and then we're gonna pull down on this and get that washer and everything to seat. And show you. You can see it's all focus. There we go. It's all seated around. It's all good. We'll tighten her down. We'll be good to go. What up, Dreezy? Huh?
Done broke.
What broke?
Fork oil.
So just a little tightening there. Now guys, take it like all forks on the ground. Push on it. Make sure it moves nice and smooth. And we're good to go. Alright guys, got done with those forks. Now it's time for the big mail time. So got these boxes, this one and the other one I showed you earlier from John Kramer. I am really excited about what's in here. I know what's in here. He called me and told me it was coming. Let me go grab a pair of dikes and let's get these things open. Hey guys, this is so cool. Alright. This is a balance bike for balance training. And I am so excited. Part of why I'm excited is that if you take a look right there, that AMA number right there, that is Mr. Brock Hepler's number. And this is one of his Suzukis that he raced. And John is friends with Brock. And John built Brock one of these a long, long time ago. And it helped Brock a ton with his balance. And so he used it. Well, he came back to John and said, John, can you please build me another one? He brought him a whole bunch of parts. Well, he ended up with enough parts for two. John watches us here on YouTube, and he called me and said, Morgan, I'm building you guys a balance bike. I want you and your boys to use it. I think it'll really make you a lot better. It'll help the kids stand up, help you, whatever. So I am really stoked. So let's put this thing together. I'm going to show you how it works. First of all, let me show you the bottom is, there we go. So there's a spring on the bottom, and that's what makes this thing really hard, is this tiny little spring, and you got to stand up on this thing. So let me get the base out of its box and we'll put this thing together. Alright, there's the base. Let's see how she goes. We're close to getting to use it. Now we need some handlebars, and I happen to have some. All right, there we go, folks. I can already tell this is going to be really, really hard. You're watching the inaugural attempt by me. I'll end up putting some grips and stuff on this thing so that we can, it's a little more comfortable, but this is going to be tough. Oh, man. All right, here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to turn the camera off and practice for a while, but this is awesome. John, thank you so much. Brock, if you ever watch this, thank you so much for the frame. It's really cool. This is actually Brock Hepler's For Real Pro frame with the sticker still on it. It's got Hepler written on the inside. It's really cool. And I can tell that this is going to be a game changer. Once we get good at this thing, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to have it down here at the shop. If you guys are ever in town and you want to come try it, come on down. Maybe I'll work out some deal with however many minutes you can do it, you get a discount or something like that. So anyway, this is awesome. On to the next job. All right, guys, next on the lift is a 2022. This is the first 2022 bike that we've worked on this year. I'm really excited. It is a 125XC, just like my 125XC over there. Mine's a 21, this is 22. They really didn't change anything except for the colors of things. This gentleman, he's a kid, he's awesome, has been watching our videos, and he wants his bike to work like my bike. So we're putting an Racetech insert in the head, doing a couple other things, getting the jetting dialed in. So I'll show you guys that here in just a second. But real quick, let me show you what we're doing here to my 125 Eileen. Putting a new rear tire on it. I am going with the Bridgestone X30 this time, mainly because the Kenda Gauntlet I had on for the last couple races looks like this. I'll show you. So getting chunked, it's not terrible. I could definitely race on it, but I already had that X30 mounted up on a rim to take to Idaho just as a spare. I didn't use it. Also, I think this race in Monte Vista, it's up in the mountains, but I don't think it's going to be a lot of super greasy, rocky stuff. And I know the last time I raced it, there was a fair amount of sand down in this one like river section, and so those big knobs are going to do way better. Also, it's just fresh and looks awesome. So yeah, that bike's almost ready to go. I got my two kids' bikes ready to rock and roll. We're going racing, so make sure you stick around, subscribe to the old channel, because we will be going racing and be putting a video together for that. It should be awesome. So I'm going to slide this wheel on my bike real fast and then get to work on the 125. All right, guys, I'm getting this thing apart, and the snap-on guy was just here, and that son of a got me again. Like, check this tool out. This thing is so cool. So it's a 1/4-inch ratchet. Looks pretty normal. It's a little weird here, but then, okay, it's all good. But then you go click, and you can get around and then put it like that, and you can work around things, which is super cool. And then let me show you what else it does. So once you get something loose, you put it on here, and you can just, oh, how cool is that? Yes, it's ridiculous. It's so cool. I hate to even tell you guys how much I paid for it. It makes me a little sick, but it is a snap-on, which means I'll have it for the rest of my life, and I can just keep breaking it and getting new ones or whatever. But it's like 140 bucks, which is, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just paid 140 bucks for a ratchet. But seriously, how cool is that thing? So let me get this off, and I'll show you what we're doing. All right, guys, got the cylinder head off. I love the fact that these 125s come with swappable domes. That is seriously rad. So here's the dome that was in there. Focus, there we go. Looks like it's been burning pretty good. He's got about 9 hours on it, so not very long. So there's that one. Now, boom, there is the RK. That's just a beautiful piece of machinery. So obviously I've shown this before. You can see the differences. The squish band is different shaped and size. Also, the dome inside is much shallower dome than this dome, which is going to give it a lot more compression. Also, the deck height between here and the squish is different. So, and then really, I feel like what does the real work is all these, well, I don't know. It's the shape, overall shape, and then also these flutes he puts in here. Also, if we look over here, he puts these, focus, come on. There we go. Puts these flutes in, and what that does is it helps radiate heat out of the head better because there's more surface area here. So as the coolant's coming across, it's pulling more heat out than this smooth one there. So generally, Kelsey's motors, if you got a head, it runs about 10 degrees cooler than with a stock head. So, and then obviously on the 300s, it's got the whole new billet piece. It's even bigger, holds more coolant, so it's better. Anyway, but I just noticed something that I don't think was on mine. I'm gonna take a look at mine, but like, it's got a QR code right in there. I don't know that I would want that. It's could create a hotspot in the head. It seems like a bad idea to have such a anomaly in the cylinder head. I mean, obviously the engineers and Austria are smarter than I am, but that seems really odd that they would do that because, like I said, I mean, you don't want any like single pinpoints on stuff in a head because it can create a hotspot and cause pre-detonation. So anyway, that's interesting. All right, the other part of installing an Racetech head is the jetting because they need a lot more gas. 32.5, pretty sure I'm at a 42, so go grab that. All right, I looked it up. I've actually got a 40 in mine, 40 or 42. I'm gonna go with a 40 because the 40 ran really good, but he's also running the stock needle, which is a much richer needle than the JD needle I'm running, so we'll run a little bit leaner pilot, but we're going up to a 40 from a 32.5. All right, so it's got a 420 in it. I'm running a 430, so we'll get a 430. Show you something here real fast too. So I'm leaving the needle where it is. It's in like the number 2 or 3. I don't know. I looked at it, I forgot. But anyway, leave that where it is for now. We'll go test ride it. But one thing to know about these carbs, it is way easier just to take the slide out. Like if you spin it top towards you, take the slide out, then just spin the whole thing instead of having to take the whole thing out because it won't go far enough over to get to the bottom if you leave the slide in. So just yank that thing out, then you can get it out. Alright, the other thing I'm doing is I'm putting Evans coolant in it. The way you do Evans coolant is you drain all the coolant, which I had to do to get the head off and all that stuff. And then you pour some Evans into the system. You don't fill it all the way up. You just pour 3 or 4 cups full in there. You start it, let it run a little bit. We're not going to let it run until it gets hot because there's not enough in there. And what that does is that Evans then gets splashed around by the water pump, and then it collects all the leftover coolant and water and whatever, and brings it. Then when you drain it, it comes out. So I just did that. There's some Evans in there now. All right, guys, drain that. Gotta fill it back up. Now, gonna run it. Make sure the coolant's moving good. Coolant's moving good. Bike sounds good. Now I just gotta clean up a few things, button things up. Then we'll go take it for a test ride, see how it runs. Oh yeah, she runs way better than stock. That is awesome. It's amazing what a head can do. 160 bucks for these 125s because it's just an insert. Same with the 150s. 330, 350 for the 300s. Worth every penny. Every penny. It's just so good. Right on. On to the next job. All right, guys. So I went and checked my records on my bike, and I actually have a way bigger main jet in mine. I have a 450, so I put a 450 in this one because I mean I rode it, it ran good. I did get it up like high on the pipe and it kind of felt like it signed off a little bit, so I went ahead, put the bigger main in it, so we should be good to go. Yeah, I think we're all ready to rock. Alright guys, that's the end of the Shlog, end of the week. We actually have another day here at Highland Cycles, but I'm not going to be here because I'm going racing in Monte Vista with Weeby Racing Hare Scrambles. Super stoked. Make sure you check that video out. We're going to have a ton of fun. The boys and I are all racing. It's going to be a blast. It's a mountain race. Anyway, it's rad. So, yeah, we're kind of getting things thinned out. We're going towards the end of the season. It's kind of nice, a little bit of breathing room in here, getting things done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this was halfway interesting to you, if you got any value out of this, consider hitting the subscribe button. If you really like what we're doing and you're wanting to support us financially, check out the Patreon link down below. You can help us out. It just makes all these trips and racing, all that, much more doable. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we're doing here, seriously, every time, but I hope what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to get out and ride your dirt bikes!